recording. We're rolling.
Recording. Cool. All right. So, hey, everybody. This is Inder Bagna with Epic Revenue Consultants. We have not discussed or had any conversations in a while, but we thought it was a really relevant topic to talk through something that's near and dear to my heart and many of our hearts in the hospitality family. And that's, talking about transitioning our skill sets. There's so many amazing people in the hospitality field, whether you're working front desk all the way up to, a big brand in terms of a corporate environment. And, there's still many impacts as it pertains to the COVID-19, despite some really great news that's coming up. Obviously a lot's happened over the last 9 months as it pertains to COVID. The impact has been on all of hospitality and travel. For over 4 million jobs are still either furloughed or lost. Disney had gone over and said, 28,000 jobs, again, furloughed or lost. Airlines just recently over the last 2 months, let go or furloughed, and that was across Delta, United, American. And travel, even the United States, is hanging around between 50 and 55%. And even if you look globally, it's around 45%. So there's still a lot of work to be done. We're all very hopeful that 2021 will be a much better year than 2020. But at the same time, we felt that it's a really relevant topic to chat about how to potentially move into another sector and bring some of those skills. So today we are joined by Arvind Bala, one of my near and dear great friends, known him for a few years now, great gentleman. And, he had previously worked at the Four Seasons in a corporate environment as senior director, I believe, in distribution, revenue management, and was able to use those skills to move into another environment. So Arvind, do you just want to give a quick introduction? I know I kind of spoke a little bit, but and then we can kind of get into, what are your thoughts and how can we help others in the industry?
Yeah, sure. And thank you for setting this up. It's been a while since we've connected, and it's great to be back in touch with you. So our industry is going through, and when I say our industry, I'm just collectively calling travel and hospitality as one industry. And it's been going through a turmoil. Many industries have been impacted, and ours more deeply than others. And it's going to be a while before it comes back. So you're absolutely right. Many of our talented hospitality and travel folks have been impacted in terms of layoffs, with the business just not being there. So that has naturally resulted in a lot of great talent and bench strength being available in the market, and really reinventing ourselves. So when my role was impacted early in April this year, one of the things I was looking was really to connect with our network. I think I've been in hospitality and travel space for 20 plus years, in really focused around performance marketing and revenue management and sales. So that helped, and across many parts of the world. So that helped develop very deep network. And I think that is, we don't value it as much in the travel space, but that's really the deep connections that we have across spanning industries and countries, which really is valuable. So that was one of the pieces that I really went back to, just revitalizing my network as a first step. And the other piece, which I think helped me transition into this new industry. So just as a context for our viewers and the audience, I've now moved into Sienna Senior Living, which is a public company here in Canada, and has is across long-term care and the retirement residential space. So they have about close to 85 to 90 assets spread across Ontario and BC. So I've joined them, and I'm supporting the marketing and brand strategy piece as the vice president here. So one of the key things that having transitioned into this industry, the first thing that came to my came up to me was really that the industry is so similar, or the business is very similar. Especially the retirement side of the business is very similar because it's really hospitality at heart, because you're serving a certain demographic, the elders, and it's
Yeah,
hospitality at heart with healthcare as a value add, right? And support or care as value add, which is very much at heart with what we do in travel and hospitality space or in hotels. So that was a really easy transition for me. So to answer your question, what really are the key elements that are very similar? The first one I would say is the customer centric mindset. And we, in hospitality, in hotels, that comes pretty naturally to us. It's not a strategy. Customer centricity is not a strategy. It's just a mindset.
absolutely.
Everybody from the frontline staff to the general manager or someone sitting in corporate office naturally, as a mindset, thinks of consumer experience first. I think that is at heart of everything we do, and which could be a defined strategy in some places, in other industries, but in hospitality it just comes out naturally. So that was the first thing that I took away, that the customer centricity approach that we have in everything we do, it's not led by processes or regulation or something else. It's how's the customer going to experience your product, and what is it going to be
Absolutely.
like, and so on. So that was the first thing. The second item, which I really think we do really well in the travel industry, or in hospitality specifically, is getting the feedback. We are so we are so hell bent on getting feedback from consumers, whether it's through focus groups or through post experience surveys at very different touch points. I mean, whether you go to a restaurant, we try and collect surveys and feedback, and
Yeah,
digital or using a paper sheet or whatever the mode be. But we are so focused around getting customer feedback, which is not always the case across industries. They may do a survey once a year or once every now and then, but that's not at the heart of what you do. And that I thought was really powerful, transitioning across industries, to see that how not just that we have a mindset of consumer, but we are so open about feedback, and we are constantly doing something about the feedback. We're constantly innovating, and that brings me to the third point. It's the whole idea of customer centric innovation. Our industry, our hospitality industry, is so focused around incremental innovation every day, and it's probably because of the hyper competitive environment where there is always this desire for a brand or for a hotel company to do something incrementally different, and it
sure.
and the competitive set catches up pretty quickly. I mean, within 6 months or even 6 weeks, you
Yeah,
have someone else doing the same, and you're constantly innovating. So that incremental innovation piece is really at heart of everything. I mean, we call it best practices. Different companies call it different things, but really that whole desire to constantly improve your product and service stack is amazing. So really, all of these are so natural in a hospitality world, and then you bring it to any other industry. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not saying senior living specifically, but any industry, these are so central to business, and that's what's really fascinating for me.